3 years of late nights, early mornings, and sacrificing every weekend. 3 years of working full-time while earning my MBA. 3 years of declining social events, missing trips, living on coffee and determination. And it all came down to this. Saturday, May 18th, 10 a.m. Graduation ceremony at the University Pavilion. I'd sent my parents the date 6 months ago, reminded them 3 months ago, sent another reminder a month ago, called them 2 weeks ago to confirm. "We'll be there," Mom had said. "Wouldn't miss it for the world." That was 2 weeks ago. On Friday night, the night before graduation, I texted the family group chat. "Tomorrow at 10. Can't wait to see you all there. Reserved seats in Section B." Dad responded, "Looking forward to it, son. Proud of you." Emily, my younger sister, sent a thumbs-up emoji. Mom hearted the message. I went to bed feeling good. Nervous about the ceremony, but good. My family would be there. After 3 years of grinding, of being told I was crazy for going back to school at 28, of proving everyone wrong, they'd be there to see me walk across that stage. I woke up Saturday morning at 7 a.m., showered, put on my suit under my gown, double-checked that my cap was on right, looked at myself in the mirror and felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Pride. I'd done it. Despite working 50 hours a week. Despite having no life outside of work and school. Despite everyone telling me an MBA wasn't worth it, that I was fine in my current job, that going back to school was a waste of time and money. I'd actually done it. My phone buzzed at 8:15 a.m. I was in my car, halfway to campus. Mom. "Honey, I'm so sorry. Something came up. We can't make it today." I read the text 3 times while sitting at a red light. Can't make it? Something came up. The light turned green. Someone honked. I drove forward on autopilot, pulling into a gas station parking lot. I called her. It went to voicemail. I called Dad. Voicemail. I texted the family chat. "What do you mean you can't make it? The ceremony starts in an hour and a half." No response. I sat there in my car, in my graduation gown, outside a Shell station, and felt something cold settle in my chest. They weren't coming. After 3 years. After all the reminders. After wouldn't miss it for the world. They weren't coming. I wanted to drive home, to skip the ceremony entirely. What was the point of walking across the stage if no one was there to see it? But I'd worked too hard. Sacrificed too much. I wasn't going to let their absence take this from me. I drove to campus, parked, walked to the pavilion, found my seat in the sea of graduates. Around me, families were arriving, taking photos, hugging their graduates, proud parents, excited siblings, grandparents with cameras. Everyone had someone. I sat alone and pretended to check my phone. The ceremony started at 10:03 a.m. The dean spoke about achievement and perseverance and the future. I heard maybe half of it. The other half, I spent scanning the crowd, hoping maybe they'd show up late. Maybe can't make it meant running late. They never came. They called my name at 11:47 a.m. Daniel Foster, Master of Business Administration, Finance Concentration, summa cum laude. I walked across the stage, shook hands with the dean, accepted my diploma, smiled for the official photographer. The audience clapped politely, the way they clapped for everyone. No one stood up. No one cheered. No one called my name. I walked back to my seat and sat down. Around me, other graduates were getting standing ovations. Families screaming their names, air horns, blown kisses. One guy's entire extended family rushed the stage afterward for photos. I sat there with my diploma in my lap and felt nothing. The ceremony ended at 1:15 p.m. Families flooded onto the field, photos everywhere. Graduates crying, hugging their parents, celebrating. I took one selfie with my diploma, posted it to Instagram with the caption, "MBA done, summa cum laude, 3 years of work, finally complete." Then I walked to my car and drove home. My phone stayed quiet the whole drive. No calls, no texts, no congratulations or sorry we missed it or anything. I got home at 2:30 p.m., changed out of my gown, sat on my couch in my empty apartment and stared at my diploma. Master of Business Administration, summa cum laude, top 5% of my class. Worth nothing if no one cared. I opened Instagram thinking maybe I'd gotten some congratulations from friends, from colleagues, from anyone. I had notifications, likes on my graduation post, a few comments from coworkers. And then I saw it. Posted 45 minutes ago, from my mother's account. A photo of my entire family at a restaurant. Mom, Dad, Emily, Emily's boyfriend Jake. All dressed up, all smiling. Balloons in the background. A cake on the table with, "Congratulations, Emily," written in frosting. The caption read, "Family dinner celebrating our Emily's big promotion. So proud of our girl for making shift supervisor at Walmart. Hard work pays off." I stared at the photo. They weren't at my graduation because they were at Olive Garden. Celebrating Emily's promotion. To shift supervisor. At Walmart. I scrolled through the comments. Aunts and uncles congratulating Emily. Friends of the family saying how proud they must be. Emily responding with heart emojis and "Thanks so much." The post had 73 likes. My graduation post had 12. I looked at the timestamp. Posted at 1:32 p.m., right around when my ceremony was ending. They hadn't just skipped my graduation, they'd planned this. The restaurant reservation, the cake, the balloons. This wasn't something that came up. This was scheduled, organized, chosen. They chose Emily's Walmart promotion over my MBA graduation. I set my phone down carefully, stood up, walked to my kitchen, opened the cabinet under the sink where I kept my files, found the folder labeled Parents' Rent. I'd been paying my parents' rent for 4 years. It started when I was 25. Dad had lost his job. They were going to lose their apartment. I was making decent money at my job, had some savings. They needed help. Just for a few months, Mom had said, until Dad finds something new. Dad found a new job 3 months later, but the rent payments never stopped. At first, they said they needed time to get back on their feet. Then it was Emily's car that needed repairs. Then it was medical bills. Then it was just expected. $1,500 a month. Automatic transfer, first of every month. 54 months. I did the math on my phone calculator. $81,000. I'd given my parents $81,000 over 4 years, and they couldn't come to my graduation because they were celebrating Emily's shift supervisor promotion at Walmart. I pulled up my banking app, found the automatic payment, the one that would process in 3 days, on June 1st. I canceled it. Then I opened my text messages. I looked at Mom's text from that morning. Something came up. "We can't make it today." I looked at her Instagram post. The whole family, smiling, celebrating Emily. I started typing. "Congratulations on Emily's promotion. Shift supervisor at Walmart is definitely worth missing your son's MBA graduation for. I'm sure that extra 2 hour will really help the family. Speaking of helping the family, I've canceled the automatic rent payment. After 4 years and $81,000, I think it's time Emily contributes with her big promotion. I'm sure between her new supervisor wages and all that pride you have in her, you'll figure it out. Enjoy the cake." I read it 3 times. Edited it once to add the dollar amount because I wanted them to see it. Wanted them to understand exactly what they'd taken for granted. Then I hit send. I sent it to the family group chat. Mom, Dad, Emily, all of them. Then I did something I'd never done before. I blocked all 3 of them. Not muted. Blocked. I didn't want to see the responses. Didn't want the excuses, the guilt trips, the accusations that I was being dramatic or vindictive or cruel. I just wanted silence. I set my phone on the coffee table, face down. Looked at my diploma on the wall where I'd already hung it. And waited to feel something other than empty. It took about 20 minutes. Then I felt it. Not sadness. Not anger. Relief. I'd been carrying them for 4 years. Financially, emotionally, always being the reliable one, the one who helped, the one who never complained. And I'd just set them down. My phone buzzed on the table. Once, twice, 3 times. 4. Even blocked, I could see the screen lighting up with notifications. Calls coming through as blocked. I turned the phone off entirely. Made myself dinner. Leftover pasta from Thursday. Ate it while watching a show I'd been meaning to catch up on. My diploma hung on the wall behind my TV. Summa cum laude. Worth more than a Walmart promotion, whether they knew it or not. And if they couldn't see that, couldn't be bothered to show up, couldn't prioritize my achievement over Emily's incremental raise, then they could figure out their own rent. I went to bed at 10 p.m., phone still off, feeling lighter than I had in years. I didn't know about the 94 missed calls yet. That discovery would wait until morning. But that night, for the first time in 4 years, I slept, knowing I wasn't responsible for anyone but myself. And it felt good. Really good. I woke up Sunday morning at 8 a.m. feeling oddly rested. For a moment, lying there in bed, I'd forgotten everything. Then it came back in waves. The graduation, the empty seats, the Instagram post, the text I'd sent, blocking everyone. My phone was still off. I got up, made coffee, sat on my couch with my diploma still hanging on the wall, and thought about turning my phone back on. Part of me didn't want to. Wanted to stay in this bubble where I'd finally set a boundary and didn't have to deal with the fallout. But I was also curious. Had they even responded? Were they angry? Apologetic? Did they even care? At 8:47 a.m., I turned my phone on. It took 30 seconds to boot up. Then the notifications started rolling in. Text messages, 127 unread. Missed calls, 94. Voicemails, 22. Instagram DMs, 15. Facebook messages, 8. I stared at the numbers, 94 calls. I opened my call log, still showing blocked numbers. The calls had started at 3:17 p.m. yesterday, about 20 minutes after I'd sent the text and blocked them. Mom, 31 calls. Dad, 28 calls. Emily, 19 calls. Unknown numbers that were probably their friends' phones. 16 calls. The last call had come in at 2:43 a.m. Someone had called me at nearly 3 in the morning. I opened my text messages, knowing they wouldn't show since I'd blocked them, but I could see the voicemail transcriptions. The first voicemail, from Mom, 3:42 p.m. yesterday. Daniel, what are you talking about? Call me back right now. This is ridiculous. You can't just cancel the rent payment. Call me. Fifth voicemail, Dad, 5:18 p.m. Son, I don't know what's gotten into you, but this is not how we raised you to act. We need to talk about this. Your mother is very upset. 12th voicemail, Emily, 7:33 p.m. Danny, what the heck? Mom is freaking out. Can you please just call her back? This is crazy. 18th voicemail, Mom, 11:04 p.m. Daniel Robert Foster, you answer this phone right now. The rent is due in 3 days and we don't have it. You're putting your family on the street. Is this what you want? Last voicemail, Dad. 2:41 a.m. Please, just call us back. Let's talk about this like adults. I sat there with my coffee getting cold, reading transcriptions of increasingly desperate voicemails. Not one of them mentioned my graduation. Not one, sorry we missed it. Not one, we should have been there. Just panic about the rent money. I deleted all the voicemails without listening to them. Then I unblocked everyone, just long enough to see what they'd actually texted me. The messages came flooding in. Mom, 3:19 p.m. yesterday. What is this about? Call me now. Mom, 3:47 p.m. Daniel, this isn't funny. We need that rent payment. Dad, 4:12 p.m. Your mother showed me your text. This is completely out of line. Call us immediately. Emily, 4:58 p.m. Seriously? You're mad about graduation so you're going to make Mom and Dad homeless? Mom, 5:34 p.m. I don't understand where this is coming from. We've always been there for you. Dad, 6:15 p.m. We're trying to reach you. Please pick up. Emily, 7:29 p.m. Mom's crying. Hope you're happy. Mom, 8:03 p.m. After everything we've done for you, raising you, supporting you, and this is how you repay us? Dad, 9:47 p.m. The landlord called. Rent is due Wednesday. We need to sort this out. Mom, 10:52 p.m. You're going to ruin us over one missed event? That's incredibly selfish. Emily, 11:38 p.m. You've always been jealous of me. This proves it. The messages continued through the night, getting more desperate, more accusatory, more guilt-laden. Not once did anyone say, "We're sorry." I made a fresh cup of coffee and started typing a response. Deleted it. Started again. Deleted it. Finally, I wrote something simple and sent it to the family group chat. I paid $81,000 over 4 years. You missed my MBA graduation, summa cum laude, to celebrate Emily's Walmart shift supervisor promotion at Olive Garden. You chose. Now deal with the consequences of that choice. I sent it. Watched the delivered status change to read almost immediately. The typing indicators appeared. All 3 of them, typing at once. Mom. How dare you throw money in our faces? We needed that help. You offered. I typed back. I offered temporary help during an emergency, not a permanent 4-year payment plan. Dad. We were struggling. You knew that. Me. You were struggling enough to skip my graduation but not struggling enough to skip a celebration dinner with balloons and cake? Emily. My promotion was important. Me. So was my graduation. Apparently less important than your 2-hour raise. Mom. This isn't about the graduation. You're being vindictive because you've always resented Emily's success. I stopped typing. Read that message 3 times. Always resented Emily's success. I opened my photos, scrolled back through the years. Emily's high school graduation, entire family there, huge party afterward. Cost, probably $3,000. My high school graduation, family there, dinner at Applebee's. Cost, maybe $150. Emily's community college associate degree, family brunch, gifts, Facebook posts. My bachelor's degree, card with $50, proud of you, text. Emily's first job at Walmart. Celebration dinner, mom posted about it on Facebook for a week. My first salaried position at a financial firm. That's nice, dear. Emily's car breaking down. I was asked to loan her $2,000, never paid back. My car breaking down. Can't you just Uber? 4 years of paying their rent. Expected. Never questioned. 1 month of not paying their rent. Family emergency. How could I do this? I'm destroying them. I looked at the pattern laid out in my camera roll, in my memory, in every interaction we'd ever had. And I understood something I'd been avoiding for years. I wasn't the son. I was the bank account. Emily wasn't the golden child. She was the child. The only one they actually saw as family. I was the responsible one. The reliable one. The one who made good money and didn't need attention or praise or celebration. The one who could be counted on to send money and not complain and definitely not have feelings about being second best his entire life. My phone buzzed. Mom calling. I answered. Put it on speaker. Finally! Her voice was sharp. We've been trying to reach you for 24 hours. I know. I had my phone off. Do you have any idea what you've done? The stress you've caused? Do you have any idea what you did? I replied calmly. Missing my graduation? We couldn't make it. I told you something came up. Something came up? Mom, I saw the Instagram post. You were at Olive Garden with balloons and a cake, celebrating Emily's promotion. Silence. That was planned weeks ago, she said, finally, defensively. So was my graduation. I told you 6 months ago. I reminded you multiple times. You confirmed 2 weeks before. Emily's promotion was important. She became a shift supervisor at Walmart. I got my MBA, summa cum laude, after 3 years of working full-time while going to school. And you chose Olive Garden. You're being dramatic. I'm being clear. You made a choice. I'm making one too. By cutting us off financially? By trying to get us evicted? By stopping a payment that was supposed to be temporary 4 years ago. You're not being evicted. You just have to figure out your own rent for once. We can't afford it without your help. Then Emily can contribute, with her promotion, or you can downsize, or Dad can pick up extra hours. Those are your options. I'm not one of them anymore. After everything we've done for you, like what? I interrupted. Name one thing you've done for me in the last 4 years that didn't involve me giving you money. Silence. I'll wait, I said. We raised you, fed you, put a roof over your head. That's called being a parent. That's the baseline. I'm asking what you've done since I became an adult. Since I started paying your rent. More silence. Have you been to my apartment? I asked. The one I've lived in for 3 years? No answer. Have you asked about my job, my life? Anything that wasn't followed by asking for money or comparing me to Emily? That's not fair, Mom said, but her voice wavered. What's not fair is missing your son's graduation for a shift supervisor promotion. What's not fair is taking $81,000 and acting entitled to more. What's not fair is calling me vindictive for finally saying no. I heard Dad's voice in the background. Let me talk to him. The phone shuffled. Son? Dad's voice was tired. I understand you're upset. Do you? But you can't just abandon your family because of one missed event. One missed event. That's what you're calling it. It was a graduation. You still got your degree. It was the culmination of 3 years of work. It was important to me. And you knew that. And you chose not to come. We had Emily's celebration, which was more important. I get it. That's the point. Emily is always more important. Her achievements, her needs, her life. I'm just the ATM who occasionally requires acknowledgement. That's not true. Then why did you miss it, Dad? Tell me the real reason. Not something came up. The real reason. Long pause. Emily really wanted us all there for her dinner, he said quietly. There it was. So you chose. We thought you'd understand. You're successful. You don't need the validation like Emily does. I'm successful because I worked for it, because I didn't have parents paying my way or celebrating every small achievement. But apparently that means I don't deserve celebration at all? We're proud of you, he said, but it sounded hollow. You're proud of my bank account. There's a difference. I hung up, blocked them again. Sat there in my apartment with my coffee and my diploma and my phone that would probably start buzzing again any second. But this time, I wouldn't see it. Because I was done. Done being the reliable one who got nothing in return. Done being the son who didn't need attention because he was already successful. Done funding their life while they celebrated my sisters. The rent was due in 3 days. They'd figure it out. Or they wouldn't. Either way, it wasn't my problem anymore. And that realization felt better than any congratulations they could have given me. Wednesday arrived. Rent day. I woke up knowing exactly what was happening 3 towns over. My parents scrambling, checking their bank account, hoping maybe I'd changed my mind. Realizing I hadn't. I went to work like normal. Sat through meetings, reviewed financial reports, had lunch with a colleague who asked how graduation went. It was good, I said. Glad it's over. I didn't mention the empty seats or the Instagram post or the 94 calls. Just smiled and changed the subject. My phone stayed quiet all morning. I'd unblock them briefly Tuesday night, just to see if there was anything worth reading. There wasn't. More accusations, more guilt trips, more, how could you do this to us? I'd blocked them again and slept fine. At 2:47 p.m. my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Hello? Is this Daniel Foster? A woman's voice. Professional? Unfamiliar? Yes? This is Patricia Chen from Riverside Property Management. I'm the landlord for the property at 847 Oakmont Avenue, Unit 3B. Your parents, Robert and Linda Foster, listed you as an emergency contact and financial reference. I closed my office door. Okay, I said carefully. I'm calling because rent was due today and hasn't been received. I've tried reaching your parents multiple times but haven't gotten a response. Given that you're listed as having made payments on their behalf in the past, I wanted to reach out directly. I'm no longer making those payments, I said. Pause. As of when? As of this month. The automatic transfer was canceled. I see. Papers rustling. And your parents are aware of this? Very aware. Do you know if they have the funds to cover this month's rent? It's $1,500 due today. I don't know their financial situation. You'd have to ask them. I've tried. They're not answering my calls. Of course they weren't. They were probably still calling me from other people's phones. I'm sorry I can't help, I said, but I'm no longer involved in their rental arrangement. Understood. I appreciate you clarifying. Pause. For my records, can I ask why you stopped making payments? Personal reasons, family matter. Understood. Thank you for your time. She hung up. I sat there in my closed office staring at my computer screen. They hadn't paid. They were screening the landlord's calls. They probably didn't have the $1,500. Good. My phone buzzed. Text from a number I didn't recognize. Daniel, this is your Aunt Carol. Your mother called me in tears. What's going on? Why won't you help your parents? I stared at the text. Aunt Carol. Mom's sister. The one who always took Mom's side in everything. I typed back, did Mom tell you she skipped my MBA graduation to celebrate Emily's Walmart promotion? 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. She said there was a scheduling conflict. There wasn't. She chose. Asked to see her Instagram from Saturday. The dots disappeared and didn't come back. 10 minutes later, my cousin Jessica texted, dude, what's happening? Mom showed me Aunt Linda's Instagram. Is that real? Very real. And they actually skipped your graduation for that? Yep. That's messed up. Yep. For what it's worth, congrats on the MBA. Summa cum laude is huge. I smiled at my phone. Thanks, Jess. Mom's calling Aunt Linda now. This should be interesting. Over the next hour, I got texts from 3 more relatives. Uncle Mark, Cousin David, my grandmother. All of them had been told some version of Daniel is being unreasonable, or Daniel cut us off over nothing. All of them had now seen the Instagram post. The narrative was shifting. I could feel it. At 5:30 p.m., Emily called from yet another unknown number. I answered. Stop calling from random numbers. You blocked us. What am I supposed to do? Not call me? Daniel, please. Mom and Dad are freaking out. The landlord is threatening eviction. They don't have the money. Not my problem. How can you say that? They're our parents. They're your parents who came to your celebration. Mine apparently had a scheduling conflict. It wasn't like that. What was it like, Emily? Explain it to me. How was it not exactly choosing your $2 raise over my 3 years of grad school? Silence. I didn't ask them to skip your graduation, she said quietly. But you knew they were, didn't you? More silence. You knew, I said. You knew they weren't going to my graduation because they were coming to your dinner, and you didn't say anything. I thought you'd understand. You're always so independent. You don't need them like I do. That's what Dad said, word for word, like you all discussed it. We just thought, you thought I wouldn't care, because I never complain, because I just pay their rent and show up to holidays and don't make waves. So why would I care about one little graduation? Don't put this on me, she said, voice rising. This is between you and them. No, this is between all of us. You benefit from them prioritizing you. You always have. And you've never once questioned it or felt bad about it because you think you deserve it. I work hard. So do I. I worked full-time and got an MBA simultaneously. You know what's harder than being a shift supervisor at Walmart? That. But somehow your achievement was worth a family celebration and mine wasn't worth showing up. I heard her crying. Part of me felt bad. The other part, the part that had sat alone at graduation while everyone else had families, felt nothing. What do you want me to do? She asked through tears. Help with the rent. You have a promotion. Contribute to the household you're so worried about. I don't make enough. You make enough to go out for celebration dinners. You make enough for a cake and balloons. You make enough to help with $300 toward rent. $300? 20%. Emily pays 20%. They figure out the rest. Seems fair since you're the one they prioritize. That's not fair. What's not fair is paying $81,000 over 4 years and getting nothing but taken for granted. What's not fair is them missing my graduation. What's not fair is you calling me right now to guilt me into resuming payments instead of calling to apologize. I didn't know it mattered that much to you. How could you not know? How could any of you not know that a master's degree graduation would matter? She didn't have an answer. I have to go, I said. Good luck with the rent. I hung up, blocked that number too, went home, made dinner, watched TV, slept fine. Thursday morning, I got an email from my mother because apparently I hadn't blocked that. Subject: please read this. Daniel, I don't know what else to say. We're sorry we missed your graduation. We made a mistake. But you're punishing us for one error by destroying our lives. The landlord has given us until Monday to pay, or she starts eviction proceedings. We don't have the money. Your father is picking up extra shifts, but it won't be enough in time. Emily is trying to help, but she barely makes anything. We have nobody else to turn to. I'm begging you, please. We're your parents. We made a mistake, but we don't deserve this. If you ever loved us, you'll help us one more time. Mom. I read it twice. If you ever loved us. There it was. The ultimate guilt trip. The weapon of last resort. I hit reply. Mom, you didn't make one error. You made a choice. You planned Emily's celebration dinner weeks in advance. You confirmed you'd be at my graduation 2 weeks before. Then you chose the dinner. That wasn't a mistake. That was a decision. You chose Emily's Walmart promotion over my MBA. You chose Olive Garden over being there for your son's biggest achievement. You can call it one error. I call it the final proof of something I've known for years. I matter less. I don't matter less because I'm more successful or more independent. I matter less because you decided I do. And I'm done accepting that. You want help? Ask Emily. Ask the daughter you prioritized. Ask the child you actually celebrated. I'm not your ATM anymore. I'm not your backup plan. I'm not the son who exists to fund your life while you ignore mine. I loved you. I loved you enough to pay your rent for 4 years without complaint. I loved you enough to keep showing up to family dinners where I was an afterthought. I loved you enough to believe we're proud of you, even though you never showed it. But love isn't supposed to be one-sided, and I'm done being the only one trying. The rent is your problem. Figure it out. Daniel. I sent it. Blocked her email address. Blocked Dad's too, preemptively. Then I did something I'd been putting off. I called my HR department. Hi, this is Daniel Foster in finance. I need to update my emergency contacts and beneficiary information. Removed my parents. Removed Emily. Listed my cousin Jessica instead. The one who'd actually congratulated me. Changed my beneficiaries on my 401k and life insurance. Everything that had been split between my parents now went to a charity, the local literacy foundation. If I died tomorrow, they wouldn't see a cent. That thought made me smile. Friday afternoon, Jessica texted, "So Aunt Linda called Mom again. Apparently you sent her an email that broke her heart." Good. Mom told her she needed to apologize for real, not just because she needs money. Did she? Nope, doubled down. Said you're breaking up the family over one missed event. Also good. Grandma called too, wants to talk to you. I thought about that. Grandma was tough but fair. She'd always been kind to me. Maybe I'll call her next week. She said to tell you she's proud of you. MBA at your age while working full-time is impressive. I stared at that text, read it 3 times. Thanks, Jess. She also said your mom was always like this with Aunt Carol too. Played favorites. Never changed. That tracked. The weekend passed quietly. I went hiking, read a book, ordered pizza, lived my life, didn't think about the rent, didn't think about whether they'd paid, didn't think about eviction notices or desperate calls or guilt trips. For the first time in 4 years, their problems weren't my problems. And on Sunday night, lying in bed, looking at my diploma on the wall, I realized something. I didn't miss them. Not the calls, not the texts, not the family dinners where I was background noise. I missed who I thought they were, who I wanted them to be. But the people they actually were? The ones who skipped my graduation? Who took $81,000 and acted entitled to more? Those people I didn't miss at all. And that was the most freeing realization of my life. 3 weeks passed. I didn't reach out. They didn't reach out. The silence was loud at first, then comfortable, then normal. Work kept me busy. I'd been promoted 2 weeks after graduation, My boss had noticed my MBA and immediately moved me to a senior analyst position with a $20,000 raise. Nobody at work knew about the family drama. Nobody knew I'd spent graduation alone. They just saw the accomplishment and rewarded it. Funny how that worked. Jessica kept me updated without me asking. She'd text every few days with small observations. Aunt Linda is working at Target now, part-time cashier. Uncle Robert picked up weekend shifts at a warehouse. Emily is contributing $200 a month to rent, complaining about it constantly. They moved to a smaller apartment, 2-bedroom instead of 3. I read the updates and felt nothing. Not satisfaction, not guilt, just distance. On the 4th week, Grandma called. I answered. Hi, Grandma. Daniel. Her voice was warm, steady. How are you, sweetheart? I'm good. Really good, actually. I'm glad to hear that. I wanted to call and say congratulations properly. Your mother sent me a photo of your diploma. Summa cum laude. That's exceptional. Thank you. I also wanted to say I'm sorry. For what happened at your graduation. For everything. I sat down on my couch. You don't need to apologize. You weren't there. No, but I raised your mother, and I see my mistakes reflected in hers. She sighed. I played favorites with my daughters. Carol always got more attention, more praise. Linda learned that love was conditional, based on achievement and visibility, and she passed that down to you and Emily. I didn't know what to say to that. You broke a cycle, Grandma continued, by standing up for yourself, by refusing to accept being second best. That takes courage. It just takes being tired, I said. Sometimes they're the same thing. Pause. Your mother is struggling. Emotionally, I mean. She's realizing what she lost. Good. But I don't think she knows how to fix it. She's never been good at admitting when she's wrong. She gets defensive instead of apologetic. I noticed. I'm not asking you to forgive her. I'm just asking you to leave the door open. Eventually. When you're ready. What if I'm never ready? Then that's your choice, and it's valid. She sounded sad but accepting. You don't owe anyone access to your life, Daniel. Not even family. Especially not family who took you for granted. We talked for another 20 minutes. About my new job, her garden, neutral topics that felt like relief. Before we hung up, she said, I'm proud of you. I hope you know that. I do now, I replied. Thank you, Grandma. 6 weeks after graduation, I got a letter in the mail. Physical letter. Handwritten. From my mother. I almost threw it away unopened. But curiosity won. Daniel, I'm writing this because you've blocked all other ways to reach you. I understand why, but I'm hoping you'll read this. We managed to keep the apartment. Barely. Your father is working extra shifts. I got a part-time job. Emily is contributing what she can. It's tight, but we're making it work. I'm not writing to ask for money. I'm writing to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry we missed your graduation. I'm sorry we prioritized Emily's dinner over your achievement. I'm sorry we took you for granted for so long. You were right about everything. We treated you like a bank account instead of a son. We expected you to be fine without support, because you always were. We celebrated Emily more because she needed it more, or so we told ourselves. But you needed it too. You needed us there. And we failed you. I can't undo that. I can't go back and attend your graduation or celebrate your achievements the way we should have. I can only say I'm sorry and that I'm trying to understand how badly we hurt you. Your father and I have been talking a lot about our mistakes, about the favoritism, about taking you for granted. Emily has been talking to a therapist about family dynamics and guilt. We're all trying to be better, even if it's too late for you to see it. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't expect you to call or visit or send money ever again. I just wanted you to know that we see it now. We understand. And we're sorry. I hope you're doing well. I hope your new job is everything you wanted. I hope you're happy. Love, Mom. I read it 3 times. It was better than the previous attempts. More honest, less manipulative. But it was also 6 weeks late. 6 weeks after I'd needed to hear it. 6 weeks after graduation. 6 weeks after I'd already moved on. I put the letter in a drawer and didn't respond. 2 months after graduation, I went to dinner with Jessica and her boyfriend. "So," she said over appetizers, "Aunt Linda asked if you were coming to Thanksgiving." I nearly choked on my water. "Are you serious?" "Dead serious. She asked my mom to ask you, like some weird game of telephone." "What did you tell her?" "I told her to ask you herself if she wants to know." "Good answer. Are you going?" I thought about it. Thanksgiving at my parents' apartment. Probably crowded now that they'd downsized. Emily there, awkward and guilty. Dad trying to smooth everything over. Mom oscillating between apologetic and defensive. "No," I said. "I'm not." "Fair. What are you doing instead?" "Friendsgiving. Some people from work are hosting. Should be fun." "That sounds way better than forced family time." "That's what I thought." Jessica leaned forward. "For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. All of it. The rent, the boundaries, the distance. They needed the wake-up call." "Did it work?" "I think so. Aunt Linda is different now. More humble. She talks about you differently, with regret instead of defensiveness." "Good." Emily, too. She's been weirdly quiet at family stuff. I think it hit her that she was complicit in all of it. "She was." "Yeah." Jessica picked at her food. "You know what's funny? She makes less money than she thought she would with the promotion. Turns out shift supervisor is mostly responsibility without much pay increase. She's stressed all the time." I didn't feel bad about that either. 4 months after graduation, I ran into my father. Pure chance. I was grocery shopping on a Saturday morning and turned the corner into the cereal aisle. There he was, looking older than I remembered, reading the back of a granola box. He saw me at the same time I saw him. We both froze. "Daniel," he said finally. "Dad." Awkward silence. Other shoppers moving around us. "How are you?" he asked. "Good. You?" "Managing." He set down the granola box. "I wanted to call you, many times. Didn't know if you'd answer." "Probably not," I said honestly. He nodded. "Fair enough." More silence. "I read your mother's letter," he said. "The one she sent you. She told me what she wrote." "Okay. I agree with all of it. We were wrong. We took you for granted. We prioritized the wrong things." He looked directly at me. "I'm sorry, son, truly." I stood there with my shopping basket, looking at my father apologizing in the cereal aisle of a grocery store. "Okay," I said again. "I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to hear it from me too. You deserved better. You deserved parents who showed up." Something in his voice cracked. He cleared his throat. "I was at the university website," he continued. "They posted graduation photos. I found yours. You were smiling in your gown, holding your diploma, but your eyes looked sad. And I realized that was our fault. We put that sadness there on what should have been your happiest day." I didn't know what to say to that. "Anyway," he picked up his granola box again. "I won't keep you. I just wanted you to know we're sorry. And we understand if you never want to see us again." He started to walk away. "Dad," I called out. He turned. "The new job is going well. Got promoted again last month. Director level now." His face lit up. "That's wonderful. Director at your age, that's impressive." "Yeah, worked hard for it." "I bet you did. You always worked hard." We stood there in the aisle, not quite bridging the gap but acknowledging it existed. "Take care of yourself," I said finally. "You too, son." He walked away. I finished my shopping, drove home, didn't cry, didn't feel much of anything except tired. 6 months after graduation, I was good. Really good. The new position came with challenges but also satisfaction. I'd made friends at work who became my Friendsgiving crew, my weekend hiking group, my actual support system. I'd started dating someone, met her at a professional networking event. She knew nothing about my family drama, just knew me as Daniel, the guy with the MBA who made her laugh. My apartment had become fully mine. I'd redecorated, bought new furniture, hung my diploma in a place of pride. I'd joined a gym, Started a hobby of woodworking. Read books I'd been meaning to read for years. Lived my life entirely for myself. And I didn't miss them. The family dinners, the obligations, the one-sided relationships. Occasionally, I thought about reconciliation. About whether I should reach out, give them another chance, rebuild something. But then I remembered sitting alone at graduation. Remembered the Instagram post. Remembered 4 years of rent payments taken for granted. And I decided I was fine where I was. Jessica invited me to a family barbecue in July. I declined politely. Grandma called on my birthday. We talked for an hour. She didn't mention my parents once. Emily sent a text through Jessica. "Tell Danny I'm sorry, really sorry." I didn't respond. Some things broke and stayed broken. Some distances became permanent. And I was learning that was okay. One evening in late summer, I was sitting on my balcony with a beer, watching the sunset, when my phone buzzed. Email notification. From the University Alumni Association. "Congratulations! Your class had the highest employment rate and average starting salary in the program's history. We're featuring your cohort in the next newsletter." I smiled. Somewhere out there, my mother might see that newsletter. Might read about successful graduates from my class. Might even see my name listed among the notable alumni achievements. Or she might not. Might not care. Might have moved on to celebrating Emily's next small victory. Either way, it didn't matter anymore. Because I'd learned the most important lesson of all. You can't make people value you. You can't force them to show up, to celebrate you, to see your worth. All you can do is value yourself. Show up for yourself. See your own worth. And if that means walking away from people who don't, even if they're family, then that's what you do. I'd paid $81,000 for that lesson, but sitting there on my balcony, in my apartment, with my career and my life and my freedom, it was worth every penny.